All right, guys, we're talking about Pushing Daisies Season 2, Episode 3, and what a wild ride we have here.
This was a wild ride that we had here. Also, a lot of stuff. I like this a lot, right? And I was kind of. Is it Episode 3 or 4? I don't know. It'll be
3.
It'll be right in the text below you. But it's relatively early in the season. We had Olive leave. It felt kind of weird. Then we kept cutting to this nunnery. It felt kind of weird. Now we have an episode centered around it, and it's just in time because I would have really hated us to keep cutting there for no reason.
I want to know what state do they even live in?
Magical windmill.
Because they're in like Switzerland or some shit.
Yes, they're in like the Alps or something or other.
This episode had a lot of that classic, like goofy, like subplot with outlandish thing happening. Yeah. I liked that. Weird truffle obsessed nun.
Oh yeah, but like. The facts are these, and then it's like she used to be a doctor and was analyzing stuff, and her like truffle synthetic formula failed, and then she like went into obscurity, and now she's undercover as a thing, and she's getting it on, but really just using the crazy chef guy, like all this, and the secret passage, like it's so deep, it's so rich and so outlandish.
Yeah, it is. It's very outlandish. Olive in general lives a crazy life, it seems.
Oh God, her history. We get a little more. Finally, we know one of the flashbacks is not just Ned being sad.
We get Olive's baby flashbacks now, and how she got an Arabian stallion of a horse because she found a dinosaur. That's outlandish in itself.
That's super outlandish, but I love the way that like the show is outlandish in its plot, but very like straightforward in its like themes and stuff like that. Because they use the narrator to tie together that history of hers with the like present day, and kind of explaining her motivations. Like, she had learned, like not to give up or something like that, or that like you may not get exactly what you wanted, but you'll get all that dumb stuff. I like
the idea of her parents saying, no, you can't have this horse. But she gets the horse, and now they have to pay for it because Olive can't room and board a horse.
The Sultan is going to keep sending money.
Thousands of dollars a month to keep this horse. But I guess eventually it paid off because she just become
Exactly. And she won that
champion.
prize money? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, prize money she didn't use?
Yeah, she hid it because she felt guilty.
Well, she killed a man.
Yeah, well, that's why.
He had to die.
Now, there's a lot of, do you have there's so many places to go here.
There's not a ton of Emerson in this episode.
Yeah, but the Emerson that we get is pretty good.
Yeah, well, he's always on, but I like to get more. He's a guy that quantity is always with the quality, and I wanted that.
When he's laughing at Olive when she comes in and asking her
his help,
and he just keeps laughing. He's like, what? What? He's like laughing, so it's like that joke's funny because of how long that it goes on.
It goes on for a dramatic long time, and he is like a little child.
He's
laughing.
So happy, it's amazing. I'm jealous. I'll never be that happy,
ever.
Literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, she, and like. Some of those, it's not a match cut, but it's like a thing where she's like, and I need you to fly solo. And he's like, what? And she's like, no, Ned or Dead Girl or whatever. And then it just immediately cuts.
And he has them there.
To like the two of them in the foreground and the two of them in the background. It's like, no, we're from the Vatican Police. He's this and she's that.
Yeah, they all pick famous names.
Thing, and you're like, it's amazing. It's so dumb.
Sister Christian.
Yeah, Sister Christian. And then he goes, we're motoring. And it goes away. I was like, oh no, it's amazing. That's so good. That's amazing.
Yeah, this episode had interesting sets and stuff. I like that Pigby is going to be a new character.
Right.
I want to see how Pigby and Digby get together. Maybe have a baby. I think they're both boys.
Like the dragon and the donkey from Shrek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that way.
Yeah, and different babies will have different combinations of undead dog and truffle-smelling pig.
I thought ultimately the ending was not as satisfying as I would have liked. Like I didn't like that Pigby knocked him over going for the truffles. I thought that was a little.
I don't like that either. But the shot in the flashback of two hooves just coming up and like pushing the person was so dumb that I was like, okay. That's fine. We're good.
You knew that someone was going to fall the moment he went to go get the cart. You're like, okay, Chuck's safe. Someone else is getting knocked. Oh, there she goes.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that Olive's back in our world. As I've stated earlier, I've not seen this season before, and I'm wondering now: does Olive and Chuck live together? Like, where's Olive going? Because that's Olive's apartment.
That's true.
That they've filled with books.
I would like them to live together, honestly, because it makes sense to me.
Sure.
And they've like made up now. She was like, I don't want to tell your secrets and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have no reason
No,
not to
they've
be
made up,
best
even
buddies.
though Olive has now told the pie maker exactly her issues with him.
Yeah.
And that'll be its own awkwardness.
That's all great, though. I love that we got to clear the air and talk about these things. I really hate the dumb, like, forced secret in movies or television business.
I hate the forced secret, but I also hate the reveal unjustly almost.
Oh.
Where I'm like, I don't know if she
Elaborate.
would have said anything. Like a lot of
Oh.
times in movies and TV shows when people say the secret, like, it's eating me alive, I have to tell you. There are things where I'm like, you just take that to your grave. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, you and I are stone cold killers, so
Right, yes.
we can't relate to someone that had to go to a convent just to avoid spilling the beans.
Would never go to a convent.
Keep thinking
Even to
about
visit.
you keep thinking about that stuff. All of her stuff is gone.
I can't imagine a world where all your stuff is gone.
Well, it would be like this world except without any of the stuff.
That's not a world I want to live in.
That's not the real world. That's a lie.
I can't even imagine the transport. Like, okay, truck driver, just leave all my shit right there. Perfect.
Perfect.
Where's the porter?
So will someone come through and get my stuff? Oh no, sister. Oh no.
I didn't say porter. I said poor.
The poor.
I just lost all her shit. So now when she moves back in, if she does move in with Chuck, it's just books and bullshit. And she's like, what is all this stuff? It's all the stuff we have. All right.
Yeah, her stuff's
I guess
gone.
I read and eat cheese now.
I'm gonna check that police report. Oh no. Yeah. Very good. The secrets are all spilt, right?
Yeah.
Ned, everyone.
Ned, in the worst display of realizing a secret ever, finally
Oh.
figures out through like being led by his fucking eyes.
Uh-huh.
Like that part was.
Does that
brutal.
bother you?
Yeah, because I'm like, Ned's not a dumb bastard. Like,
Well, yes, but he's not also so like quick and intuitive or whatever.
he's bright enough.
Yeah.
Like I could see not recognizing her because, like, okay, she was younger, didn't
That
have an
was
eye
funny
patch,
too.
whatever.
When she covers half of her face and goes, Aunt Lily.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay. Okay.
But when she's like, she had a sister and that would be the same age as Chuck or something, like whatever he
that
says,
would
I'm
be
like,
her
come
cousin."
on, you fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the whole like Chuck's like this convenience of like, oh, I filled out this when I was 5 and didn't know who my relatives were, and fucking shut up.
Oh, that's a thing.
That's annoying.
That's a device. And later he's like, brought this for you in case you want to fill it out.
Fill it out.
Mm.
Come on.
Very nice. Yeah.
No.
That's a good gesture on his part or whatever. You have to have something. Like, the show is so outlandish in its other elements that I don't have a problem with it being also outlandish, and it's like
I didn't
these
think that was
elements are-
outlandish. I thought that was like weird and like
Yeah.
kind of lazy.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know the direction I would have said, oh, they should have done this, but just something about
Yeah.
that I was like, eh.
No, like I think in something more grounded that that would feel like a weird, goofy thing to put into the thing as as your thing.
I didn't
But,
think it felt goofy.
yeah.
It just felt off to me. Like a
guess.
little, like a dropping of the ball of sorts.
It could have been a lot better, obviously. It wasn't like a high point or like a happy thing per se. It was just like we need something like her hiring that guy and like the whole thing, and then him not being able to find anything either, and her going like I'm no one or whatever, and then him being
I feel like a lot of the things that happen
know that
on the
secret.
rooftop near the bees, I could do without.
Okay, sure.
Where I'm like, really that? Why would that happen? Yeah, get out of here. Come on.
I like them keeping the love story moving and like
No,
developing.
but I
between them
think
and all
there's
that stuff.
ways to keep the love story moving that would
Yeah.
actually be progressing like the plot and
Other
their
stuff, too.
relationship. Because it
Yeah,
seems
yeah.
like day to day their relationship doesn't go anywhere, and sometimes it seems to be almost ignored. Where you're like,
Yes.
are you together or not? Like,
Yeah. So they should be integrating those revelations more with each case.
Yes.
And I really liked that part about Ned doing the confessional business. When they have to switch places, and then the guy says like, "Oh well, the same boy who was abandoned is here right now, abandoning others." And then Ned's like, "Oh no!" And then they fold it directly in where he's like, "Okay, but who are you? This is you're obviously not a priest." He goes, "Oh
Yeah,
shit!"
yeah.
Right. So then like the plot, like you take a little pit stop, and then you're back on the plot, and then you've
Yes.
developed stuff, and then Ned has that to think about, and that's what motivates him to go tell her and stuff. So that
Yeah.
stuff's awesome. But yes, they seem to sort of take their own like it's like a debriefing period. It's like an epilogue period where sometimes, and then you're like, if you hadn't have done this case today, would it just have been like another Tuesday where you make tea and you go to bed and you don't talk anymore? Like, do you only do this after a case? Why? This has nothing to do with the case.
No.
Okay. We fixed the show.
What else you got for this episode? Anything?
Oh, that's basically it.
Yeah, it's kind of where I sit on this one. We'll see what
I did not hate this episode though. This seemed
no,
like
I like the episode
like a
had
standard
a
episode.
case that that like was I think almost back in the almost the not quite windmill territory, but it had the things and locations and passageways and this and that, and I liked that.
Like the elements, finding out that there was like an underground magazine and candy trade, but then also going deeper and like that's sort of what the windmill episode is all about, where you find out, wait, there are diamonds, and wait, okay, so like you were writing letters to you and you didn't know that was them, but they were writing letters back and they and she wasn't her either, and you're like, what? And it just keeps going.
I think honestly, if the subplot of who's Chuck's mom stuff was just removed and they used that time for jokes and stuff, I think this would have been a windmill episode.
Okay, interesting. I agree. I hope that we get through this and
I don't know if you're gaining enough
down,
there,
right?
other than just like, well, we need more things to be happening. Like it just seems like it's a little forced.
Yeah, it does seem like they decided that they needed something like that because season 1 had something like that, so you need something like that again. But no, I said this during the finale where I was like, and this is the big thing now, I guess. Like, what? Right?
Yep.
Because they could just tell her and she would just know. It doesn't seem like a big, horrible, dark secret.
Because even your flip side here of like when it fully comes to, oh, I know everything, this and that, she's still acting like she's dead and not telling them anything. So unless she's planning on coming out of retirement,
well, and like,
then what's the point of even knowing who your mother is?
From Lily and Vivian's perspective, it's like over 20, something years, 30 years ago now, something bad happened, but she's dead anyway, and like the husband is gone anyway. Like there's nothing to do now. I don't know. You're right.
Yeah.
We have cold, dark, black hearts.
All right, guys, that's this episode of Pushing Daisies. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't down a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.